So probably the number one topic I've seen on sneaker YouTube over the last few months has been that sneakers are dead. Specifically, Jordans are dead. And the reason people are saying this is mainly because Jordans don't sell out anymore like they used to. Well, today I have two shoes in my hand. They are both Jordans and they both in fact did sell out. Doesn't mean the hype is back. Well, I don't really think so, but it does mean that people still want some Jordans. I was very lucky to get W's on both these pairs. I'm excited to review them, so let's go. First, I quickly wanted to say you may or may not have noticed that over this past weekend, my channel did get hacked. The guy who hacked my account, he then did a live stream on my channel trying to get some money from you guys. It was some kind of crypto scam, and I really hope none of you fell for it. And after a very stressful process, I was finally able to get access back to my YouTube channel. It wasn't easy, but shout out to Team YouTube for the support. Okay, before we get into these two shoes, I want to just give you some thoughts about where I stand right now with Jordan Brand. You may have watched me do this video a couple of months ago talking about how I copped the undefeated 4s. I wore them, realized how uncomfortable they were, and then went into kind of a rant talking about why I think Jordan Brand is kind of dying out recently. Mainly because of how people who normally wear Jordans have gotten older now and they value comfort a lot more than they used to, and nobody really wants to wear these uncomfortable Jordans anymore. That may be true, but I also did say in that video that I am not going to stop wearing Jordans. I still very much like how they look, specifically Jordan 1s, 4s, and 5s. I'm still a sneakerhead at heart, and sometimes that comes with a bit of pain, so comfort is not always the number one priority for me when it comes to buying shoes. But now let's get into it. First, I'm going to talk about this recent pair of the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low Tropical Pink. It released alongside another colorway, Shy Pink. So firstly, let me know in the comments which of those two colorways you guys like better. Personally, out of the two, I definitely preferred this one. I know it's a bit more louder, but it is such a unique colorway on a pair of Travis's. The first Travis Scott Jordan 1 Low actually came out all the way back in 2019 already, but this has been going on for 7 years. We've been seeing the reverse swoosh. Is it a bit played out at this point? Absolutely. But still, it seems like every time a new pair drops, it still sells out. People still pay quite a lot more in resale for them. I personally think that these two colorways that just dropped really brought a lot of life back into this model, in my opinion, because we've been seeing kind of the same type of shoe dropping for quite a while now, like these olive tones, earthy tones. It did get a little bit boring. This colorway is us seeing the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows in a whole new light. It made me at least interested in this model for the first time after quite a long period. We have actually seen this colorway before on other Nike models. I believe it was on the Air Max 90 that we saw pretty much the same identical color. And also there was this pair of Air Force 1 Lows, the Love Letter pair, but I do think it looks the best on this Travis Low. The shoes were actually supposed to be a Valentine's Day release, which makes a lot of sense once I get into some of the details of this shoe, but for some reason it's been delayed. In fact, it's been delayed for like over 2 years now. We've been seeing pictures, especially of that Shy Pink colorway. I feel like we've seen pictures of that one for a long time. But anyways, we finally have them. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the box. So on the Travis Scott Jordan 1 Lows, special box here. It matches the colorway of the shoes. You have the Nike sign done in pink. The shoes have some colors we have never seen before on the Travis Lows, and I've seen some of the commentary out there, people saying that this is a shoe for kids, this is a shoe for girls. In my opinion, objectively speaking, I don't think there's such a thing as colors for girls or colors for kids. That's just how we're kind of pre-programmed as a society to think. Pretty much since you were a kid, you've been told that blue is for boys, pink is for girls. It starts all the way at your baby shower. But I really don't think it's all that serious, guys. It's all about what colors you prefer, what colors appeal to you. If you are comfortable wearing a pair of shoes like this, then just rock it, man. People can think what they want to think. Who cares? The materials on this Travis Low are pretty nice. You definitely feel a little bit of an upgrade when it comes to materials compared to a Jordan 1 Low. Very nice tumbled leather used here. And on the pink panels, you have nubuck. I mentioned that there are some Valentine's Day details on this. So right on the tongue, you have a little heart shape there under the Nike logo. And then also on one of the insoles underneath the Travis logo. For me, definitely the best laces that come with this pair are the white ones. I think that looks the cleanest, but you also have some red laces and pink laces. I feel like they should have also given us some cream laces just to match this midsole. That would have been nice. I think this is an excellent summertime Travis Scott shoe. I feel like you can rock these with shorts, especially some denim shorts or jorts. I'm rocking it with shorts here just to give you an idea, and I think they look awesome. I forgot how big these feel on feet. I do own two other pairs of Travis, the OGs as well as the fragment lows. For me, these fit bigger than both of those pairs. The fragments definitely also fit big, but not as much as this one. Like this one just feels very big on feet. I feel like I could have easily gone down half a size. I went true to size in this, and there's a lot of room. There's like a full thumb's width of room in the toe box. So definitely I would say go half a size down even if you have wide feet. What I said previously about comfort still is relevant. So, you know, going from a pair of New Balances or Asics to this pair of Travis's, you definitely feel it. It is quite a step down when it comes to comfort, but you are not buying this shoe for comfort. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about seeing these types of colors on the Travis lows? I'll also give you a quick updated ranking of my favorite Travis Scott colorways. At number 5, I have the Phantoms. I would put these at number 4. The OG pair, the one I have, that would go at number 3. At 2, I got the Fragments, and at number 1, probably the Reverse Mocha, which I unfortunately do not own, but I have to admit that's probably the nicest looking Travis pair so far. But I want to hear from you. Fill up the comments, guys. Let me know, what do you think about this pair? Let's move on to the second one. Now this pair, this is the Nigel Sylvester Jordan 4 Brick After Brick, which people were already calling before the year started. People were saying this is going to be sneaker of the year, which I'm sorry guys, that is ridiculous. I did not understand why last year everyone was calling those red Jordan 4s sneaker of the year. And I'm not about to hate on this shoe, by the way, for the next few minutes. I just wanted to chill with the whole sneaker of the year conversation. A lot of people were more excited for this colorway than last year's Brick by Brick, mainly because it's familiar. You know, it kind of looks like a fire red 4, and it's also a bit more wearable, and there's no denying that. Let's get into the review now. Let's start off with the box. So you're once again getting a box here, which this time is inspired by concrete blocks, and you can really feel the texture. It's got that rugged texture on the box, kind of like a brick. Opening up the box, you see that each pair of shoes are individually wrapped and held together with this strap, which is a reference to how bricks are transported from construction site to construction site, which I think is a pretty cool touch. There's some changes on this shoe, so definitely on the materials. You're getting some nice smooth leather on this pair instead of the nubuck we saw on the previous pair. This mini swoosh, I know it's such a tiny detail, but why does it just add so much to the shoe? Like definitely you have this pair next to a fire red Jordan 4, and just having this mini swoosh feels like a flex. Like you ain't got these, you know, you got those, but you ain't got these. I will say what I don't like about this shoe is what they did with the mesh. They actually removed the mesh, and instead underneath the off-white colored cages, you just have what seems like more leather. Don't personally understand why you would do that, because like my feet are probably gonna get super sweaty on this pair because there's pretty much no ventilation. On the heel tab at the back, you have that embroidered bike logo. And speaking of the heel tab, I think it looks so nice. This is also what makes this shoe stand out from your regular fire red 4s. This is another pair, guys. Perfect release for the summer. If you still like wearing your Jordan 4s, then these are gonna look great with shorts. I don't know if I'm gonna be biking in these. Actually, let's keep it a buck. I know Jordan Brand came out with the Jordan 4 SBs a couple years ago, but let's be honest, guys. Who's actually playing sports like skating or biking in a pair of 4s? You can make it as skateboarding friendly as possible, as bike friendly as possible. No one is gonna be using this for biking or skating, or even playing basketball for that matter. In 2026, you're not gonna be doing that in Jordans. You will literally be putting up brick after brick. What I really love about this pair is that my feet do not hurt whatsoever. Like these are really nice and wide foot friendly compared to most Jordans. Compare this with the Undefeated 4s, for example. It's a night and day difference for me. These just feel way roomier and my feet love them. You don't have that pinky toe problem like you do with a lot of the GR Jordan 4s. I don't know what they did with the sizing here. Maybe if it has something to do with this being bike friendly, but whatever the sizing they've done on this pair, please Jordan Brand, apply it to all your Jordan 4s, and I'm going to be wearing them a lot more and won't be complaining about comfort. So I got them in my true size. They fit me perfectly. If you want like a very snug fit, I think you can even go down half a size, but for me, my feet are slightly on the wide side. I will stick true to size in these. My personal thoughts on the colorway, I do like this one more than the Brick by Brick. The Fire Red 4s are one of the all-time greatest Jordan 4 colorways. I know this looks like that. But I love all the little details on the shoe that make it stand out. Yeah, I think it's just a preference thing. Let me know in the comments though, what do you guys think? And that's it, guys. I was pretty happy to do a Jordan review again on the channel. Let me know if you got either of these pairs for retail or if you're planning to pay resale for them. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. That's where I'm posting content pretty much daily, so it's the best place to contact me as well. Thank you so much for stopping by and supporting my channel, guys. I will catch you in the next video. Peace.